you rock, most people enjoy a good story. Imagine a story where you rock. Are you doing something rocking in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, or the world? I would love to have you on my show to share your rocking stories. We're here with Julia Saganski with Threads of Life and talking about your beautiful sister and her embroidery. So tell us about your sister.
Oh, my sister. She was a wonderful sister.
Mm-hmm.
She was my mentor. I was 18 when my mother died. And she just took me under her wing. And anything I have become since then is actually a credit to her.
Oh, isn't that wonderful to
Yes.
say that? And her name was Nettie Zuck, or
We called her Nettie.
Nettie. Mm-hmm. That's her nickname?
And yes.
Mm-hmm.
And in Ukrainian it's Zuk.
Okay.
But we went by, kind of anglicized it a little bit, so it was Zuck.
Oh, okay.
You know.
So you grew up in Hafford, Saskatchewan, and my grandparents came from Hafford. So it's
Yes.
really near and dear place for me. So
Yes.
tell us about life in Hafford, Saskatchewan, and how your sister got involved in embroidery.
We lived on a farm 7 miles out of Hafford. And she was quite gifted.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was the second oldest in the family. And so the mother decided to keep Anne after she finished grade 8, kept her at home to help with the chores. And Nettie kept on going on to school. So she went on to Hafford, took her high school there, some of the high school, and then she went to Saskatoon, and she went to Bedford.
Mm-hmm.
And she took her grade 11 and 12 there. And then, she was staying at the Sisters of Mary Conception.
Immaculate?
Immaculate Conception.
Conception, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
And there was a nun at the home. They kept a number of girls there, actually boarding room, and she was gifted in embroidery.
Mm-hmm.
So Nettie picked up the talent from her,
Mm-hmm.
and she started. She made a book of some of the patterns that the sister had, and it's at the museum right now. I didn't bring it.
Okay.
And she just started embroidering.
Mm-hmm.
Sister would give her some threads, and she started embroidering and learning a little bit about the traditions of the certain regions in Ukraine and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so she just saw the need for it, and she kept on.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, once she finished, she was 16 when she finished her grade 12, and she couldn't go on to university to get her teacher's diploma. So she went to university for 2 years, and then she took teacher's college, or what they had said at one time was normal school.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was teaching in country schools, actually, around Hafford and around Saskatoon. And she saw the need of Ukrainian embroidery in making costumes.
Mm-hmm.
People were starting to dance and do all kinds of things. So she started to embroider.
Okay, so.
And helping some people to learn how to embroider.
Mm-hmm.
And so the tradition was passed on.
And that's so important to continue these traditions.
right.
And the beautiful embroidery, and they all have different significance, the patterns, don't
That's
they?
right.
And
That's
the
right.
areas they come from.
That-
and
that's
different
right.
meanings. I see you
That's
have
right.
some pattern
Yes,
books here.
I've had some she did. This one here is Hutsul.
Okay.
And it's a region of Ukraine, apparently, that is very colorful.
Okay.
Their dancing costumes were very colorful.
Mm-hmm.
And she, whenever she could, she picked up the pattern and kept it.
So these are
And
her
used it.
patterns, her actual
She-
patterns that she
yes,
had.
that
Yeah.
she was embroidering. This is a cushion that she had,
Oh.
that somebody had embroidered, and she kept it.
Okay, so she
And-
made a beautiful cushion
Yes.
from this pattern. So she
Yes.
does it. Does she plan it all on paper first? And is
She
that
does
how?
it. This is this is actually the center.
Oh, okay. That's where
And
they
then,
start.
So then this continue on this way. Repeat that, and you have the cushion.
Okay.
I've done this pattern. Yes, she taught me to embroider.
So you can
know?
continue on her traditions.
To a certain extent. Some are a little difficult too, because there are some are freehand done, and so it's a little difficult. But fortunately, she put down the color numbers with each pattern, so it's a little easier to decide now what are you going to make out of this, you know. So as I say, I make cushions like that now, and I give them away as wedding gifts
Oh, isn't that a wonderful
to
present?
anybody that I know, you know.
Well, I see you brought in a beautiful blouse and a cushion that she made herself.
Yes.
And how long would it take to make do the embroidery on that cushion, for example?
Oh, that would take, for her, I'd say maybe a month or a month and a half, because she was very quick. I only do it when I relax, you know. I want to watch TV, and if I can follow a pattern, I'll do it in front of a TV, you know. And I'm very fortunate that she was around. She never got married, so she was at my home a lot.
Okay.
And if I saw her doing some embroidery and I liked it, I would say, that's going to be mine. And that's why I have all these pieces, because if I liked it, she left it for me. If I didn't like it, or if I sort of said, well, it's mediocre, you know, then she would give it to somebody else. I knew she would. She didn't keep any of her stuff, you know.
So how many pieces would she have done in her lifetime?
Oh,
Thousands?
oh,
Many.
a number
many.
of hundreds.
Yeah, that's why it's called The
Well,
Threads of
because-
Life, because
that's
it's
right.
continuing and telling a story. And what a
Yes.
beautiful title, and beautiful to honor your sister that way.
Well, wherever she went, she would embroider. She would banners for the church. We have banners in our church, you know, that we take for a procession around the church or something like that, and it's a holy picture, and you know, and altar linens. We have embroidered altar linens, and so, you know, every place she went, she saw the need for it. She would do it. You know, and she never charged. It was all gratis. She probably bought the material, because I had a roll like from a store, and it was just rolled. There's yards of it on this. I gave it to Andrea because I said it's too fine for me to work on, but she could work on it. She could embroider on this, and that's Common Threads.
Well, thank you very much for being on my show. You rock for celebrating and sharing your sister's story of Nettie Zuck, and it's so wonderful to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I hope you enjoyed today's show with honoring Nettie Zuck. Thanks for rocking in and having a conversation with Marion. I'm Marion, and you rock.